I think for us, it's between and those really are two of the absolute best restaurants that the city has to offer.
Yeah, we just don't agree on number one. I don't know, do we arm wrestle? How do we figure it out? New York City's always been an art town. It's a business town and a food town. If you want to find the energy in New York, just go out to eat.
The diners are as hungry and excited as the chefs are. The sheer amount of restaurants we have and difficulty of opening a restaurant in the city means the ones that really nail it, they sing.
Which is what the list is for, to recognize the breadth of New York City's restaurants. Old ones, new ones, celebrated ones, ones you didn't even know about. We've been working on the NYC 100, which is a list of the most exciting New York restaurants. All right, hi.
Hi.
We get to debrief.
Okay, so I printed out our list of the top 10, which we now have to rank.
You know, I don't even know how Pete decided to do the 100. It's such a daunting task, right?
Yeah.
He did the job for 12 years. Oh my God, I can't believe he did it for 12 years. And so we were lucky. We had a template. We had Pete's list from 2023 and 2024.
We basically started with these 100 restaurants, and then we looked at 80, probably more like 80 to 100
like
more.
80 to 100 more. We collaborated at the beginning to come up with who did what and which restaurants were on the list, and we were always soundboarding each other, we were gut checking each other, but our work was very independent because we were doing different restaurants, except for the top 10. So we've been doing this way. So for 3 to 4 months, we've been doing, oh my God, no wonder we're so full.
Yeah.
That's insane.
You know, what people don't know is like after we were finished visiting our restaurants, we then went through and were like, what gaps are we missing? And then we did another round of scouting.
This is privileged information until publication date. Okay, so this is the spreadsheet. This is the Rosetta Stone.
We're going to have 150 places, and we're going to have to whittle it down to 100.
I don't think it's going to be that many, but
okay,
I
we're going to have
definitely...
130 places. So
that's realistic.
So where do we start?
Killing our darlings. I mean, that's the thing. It's like we go to these places and we're like, oh,
I know, you like fall
in
in love with them.
It's important. Like we don't want to miss stuff, you know? I mean, that's our responsibility.
It's equally important to go to the places you're putting on the list as to go to the places that will not end up on the list.
Totally.
Because you need to be able to say, yes, I went there.
Yes. One thing that needs to be said is all of these restaurants on the top 10 part of the list, they are all, I think the quality is equal across it. Exceptional.
Yeah.
So number 10 is Tatiana. Tatiana was number 1 the past couple of years with Pete. It is still in the top 10. The food is delicious. I mean, the patties are just, oh my God. The oxtail.
The oxtail.
The oxtail is incredible.
I love that oxtail.
It's so nice to see a restaurant, like we were saying, not resting on its laurels. You know, it's just on point. It's a great atmosphere.
I mean, Lincoln Center is so much better for that restaurant being there.
Totally.
Number 9, we have Sichuan Mountain House. Just a temple to the versatility and pure joy of Sichuan peppercorns. It's just those stinging, numbing, delightful flavors. And, you know, crucially, you can get in and out for 2 and have a pretty reasonably affordable dinner where every single dish is electric. The fish, it's like a fish swimming in like a hot Sichuan peppercorn oil. I love the mapo tofu.
There's like a cold tendon dish. Oh, the texture. It's a hot, you have the mala flavors, the hot oil, the crunchy tendon. Number 8 is Sushi Show. It's just beautiful, pristine fish, but also about preservation and fermentation and the ways in which you really learn about the history of sushi going back, which goes back 900 years in terms of preserved fish, but only 200 years in terms of fresher fish. And it's fascinating. So you're learning all of this while you are eating some of the most innovative, delicious combinations and sea critters I'd never had before. There was a certain shrimp that I had that was full of roe, and the roe was like lobster coral.
I feel like I lose sleep over every single review, whether it's good or bad. I realize all of the thought and hard work and care that goes into a restaurant. Anything good or bad is a reflection on that restaurant. I really never thought I'd be doing this. I never thought I'd like it, but I do. Right now I'm writing a review, and then I am going to a restaurant that I need to scout as part of the New York City 100. I feel like the challenge for me as a restaurant critic is like, how do I write restaurant reviews that open up the world of food and don't close it?
So we were looking at neighborhood, right, price point, How good was the food, you know? Are we getting in enough diversity on the list? We have all kinds of restaurants. And I do think that it is having that voice. You understand what the chef is trying to do, you see their mission, and then you see that they've fulfilled it.
I feel like what people don't see is for every dumpling restaurant you review, you've gone to 10 dumpling restaurants.
Yes.
For every taqueria I'm reviewing, I'm going to 10 other taquerias.
Yeah.
That, I think, is what makes criticism.
Yeah, it's all the places we don't write about.
At 7, we have Penny. Penny is a singular seafood bar. Everything is of absolute pristine and remarkable quality, but they do these little things to the seafood to just make it, to give it almost this ethereal quality. That shrimp cocktail, I think, is the city's best shrimp cocktail. That pure shrimp is one of my favorite bites in New York. You have
razor clams.
Oh, the razor
clams
with this tangle of pickled vegetables on top. Oh, they're so they're like slurpable. Everything just feels so technically precise. Everything is prepared right. All the ratios of ingredients are right. It is briny, bright, tangy.
Fun. It's fun to eat there. It's a fun place.
It's so dialed in.
Number 6 is King. King has been around for a while, and it's like it's been reborn. King is a restaurant that has been reborn into the best version of itself. It's Italian leaning, it's inspired by the River Cafe, but there's also an important seasonal element to the cooking, a freshness. The menu changes every single day, and they're on their game, and they are using what's fresh and making just the most comforting, delicious food. Yeah, get the pasta.
Whatever the pasta
Whatever
is.
the pasta is, get the pasta. But also their salads, Nobody talks enough about how important a well-dressed, perfect salad with just sprightly vegetables is, and you're always gonna get that at King. And the desserts. We both have a sweet tooth.
Okay, so this is my bag of wigs. I'm gonna stand far away from it because I don't want people to see the wigs, but that is just a bag full of wigs.
So how many Resi accounts do you have? How many open table accounts? How many talk accounts?
I think I've got 4 Resi accounts, 4 open table accounts, 2 talk accounts, and 6 wigs.
Oh my God. So the hardest thing for me was remembering what name I made the reservation.
I know, who am I?
I know, and I would have to go back to look, and I got it wrong at least twice.
What's also funny too is when you make it under names that could be pronounced in different ways, and then your friend comes and pronounces it differently than you did, and then the person's like, well,
yeah,
who is that person? Why don't your friends know how to pronounce your own name? There's a common misconception that people go alone to a review. I'm just like, that'd be impossible and sad. We usually order much of the menu, and it would not make sense for me to do that alone. I say a party of 4 is the ideal size for trying a good chunk of the menu. By the time I write a review, I want to have sampled pretty much everything on the menu, and I like to sample some things more than once to see if they stay consistent.
Everybody's taking pictures of their food. When you are eating them, it's easy to just whip out your phone.
So I get my colleagues to help. I've got Julia Moskin here, and we're going to do another restaurant. And thank you for helping me.
And we're hopeful.
We're hopeful.
At number 5, we have Ha's Snack Bar, which I think is just one of the most exciting, forward-thinking restaurants we have in New York. It started as a pop-up. And so it has all of the freewheeling energy of a pop-up. You have these 2 owners, Anthony Ha and Sadie Mae Burns Ha, and they complement each other perfectly. Anthony, his flavors are so dialed in, and you can get everything from an amazing salad to a beautiful whole fish to a pitch-perfect lemon meringue pie.
And that pate.
And the pate.
And the
pate. It is one of the most exciting pates. If you don't like pate, you'll love this pate. The pate has zip, it has brightness, it has richness. They know how to create balance in dishes.
Number 4 is Kabawa. Kabawa is brand new on the scene. It might be a new restaurant, but Paul Carmichael is a seasoned chef. They are a seasoned team. Everything is perfect. There's no other restaurant in New York like it. Caribbean food. Every single bite I had there was perfect, but especially the goat. The goat was this brick of soft It fell apart. There was this curried sauce.
And the curry leaves on top.
It was just delicious. And you know, one of my favorite things was this simple thing. It was a bowl of ice with a sweet tamarind on top. And I had never had tamarind like that.
So today we were jogging to Flushing to have dumplings, and so yeah, hopefully I'll get nice and hungry.
One thing my friends always said was like, this is like a sport. It's like you got to train
You gotta
for
train
it.
for it. Yeah, no, you literally ran to. Sometimes I would look at your restaurants. I'm like, you ran 8 miles to eat there.
I make my own yogurt, so I used
Me
to
too.
I would eat like a bowl of yogurt
In the morning,
when
bowl
I
of
got
yogurt,
home.
right?
Yeah.
Because you have all those probiotics.
For all of the complaints I have about the like physical rigors of this job, it just is an immense privilege just to be able to like eat out for a living. Every so often I'll like take someone out to dinner and they're like, this is just like what you do every night.
Eating dumplings.
At number 3, we have Le Bernardin. It is everything that fine dining in New York ought to be. It is the best of fine dining.
Yeah.
It runs like a well-oiled machine, but it's not resting on what it was doing 10 years ago. There are those iconic dishes, and they're still iconic and amazing, but you have Eric Ripert in the kitchen every day, innovating, thinking of something new. When I was there, I asked the chef, how often does the menu change? And they literally said, every day Eric looks at the menu and thinks, what could I be doing differently? What could I be doing that's new? To have a chef like that, who is as famous as Eric, as classically French trained as he is, to be thinking in that way, I think is very special.
Yeah.
Oh, I love I just think that restaurant is so special.
Here's some definite no's.
I think that the chef is really talented. I don't know why the restaurant can't get it together. I've been to, it's great. It's such a good bargain.
Vibe is amazing. The seafood is a bit overcooked. So, you know, a restaurant is not like a fixed thing. And so I'm always excited to go, you know, a year later and see how much it's changed. And sometimes those changes are really great. And sometimes the chef has gotten really famous and they're doing a bunch of other gigs and they can't put the time in the kitchen that maybe the kitchen deserves, and the food has fallen off. And there's no way when you review it or write about it to know what's going to happen to the restaurant in the future, whether it's going to stay as good or get worse or get better. You have to judge it for that moment in time.
You went at the beginning, right,
I
Priya?
went 2 days ago.
Oh, you didn't like it?
And I
Oh, interesting.
Like some of the
I think
things
it is a very
lot.
polarizing
Could be.
restaurant. I
Yeah.
agree.
Could be.
And there are other things that just it didn't come together for me. I didn't
I
really.
think
Well,
you're
because
either
you-
like a person or you're not.
No, I feel like they changed. They evolved. You know, you and I are different. We have different tastes. We have different tastes from Pete. Yeah, we don't agree on a lot of things.
We don't agree on a lot of things.
Yeah.
I do think that Melissa and I represent 2 very common kinds of diners in the city. So I feel like in a way it's been really great for the list.
Yeah,
for
we're
the
about
places
to
I
disagree.
feel strongly about.
We're about to disagree.
So you guys are not in an agreement with what number 1 is.
Right.
Is that what this is?
Yes.
Yeah, we just don't agree on number 1. We think that both these restaurants are great.
Okay, I'm gonna try calling Brian. Hi.
Hi.
All right, I'm here to help.
So we have ranked the list, and the only disagreement we have is over number 1. When I talk to everyday New Yorkers about the restaurant that excites them, it was a groundbreaking restaurant. I also do like the idea of putting a place at number 1 that isn't a tasting menu, that you can get into on a average night, that doesn't cost $300.
But I just think the reason I as the edge is because I feel like the pushing and the innovation is just going on a higher level, not higher level, a faster level. Like the innovations are they just keep happening.
And they're both restaurants that did something really unique
Yes.
when they arrived.
Both of all these arguments are very persuasive, and of course, nobody's getting short shrifted. It's being the number 2 restaurant in New York City is
Of
not,
course.
but I think kind of tips it over. Yeah.
So are we calling it? Let's do
All right.
it. So,
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
All right. See ya. Bye.
Woohoo! We did it.
We did it.
We did it. Want to see our list?
I think it's a damn good
It's a
list.
great list. Number 2 is Adamix. Adamix, oh my gosh, Adamix, it is one of the most brilliant restaurants I've ever been to. It's Korean as a starting point, but it encompasses the world. The imagination that goes into every single dish. So it's a tasting menu. It is expensive, but you will not eat anything else like it in any other restaurant in the world. It is always new. One problem with the progression of a tasting menu is that the food can be a little repetitive, but here, every single dish works together, and it is a progression that is orchestrated so that you reach a crescendo at the end. If you can go and you can afford it, you're gonna be blown away.
I love when an expensive restaurant is actually
Yes, but it's worth it.
And at number 1, we have Sema. This restaurant broke ground for regional Indian cuisine in New York and the rest of the country. It introduced many diners to traditional dishes of Tamil Nadu, the state in South India, but it also feels deeply personal to the chef Vijay Kumar, who grew up in these rice paddies in Tamil Nadu. It is constantly changing, it's ever evolving, it's loud yet restrained, and it feels like one of the most dynamic restaurants in New York. I gotta say, it was a ballsy move to put a dosa on the menu, given how many good dosas there are in New York. Sema serves bar none the best dosa in New York. And it is that funk of fermentation, the gunpowder inside that's really fiery and nutty, the soft ghee-soaked interior, the crisp edges, their oxtails, the lobster. If you can gather 5 people and do the crab feast, it's totally worth it. But every time I go, there's something new. There's a new lesson in Indian cooking. It's so deeply personal in a way that just means so much to me and to every diner who goes there. And you feel his love and you feel every bit of the personal touch that he puts in that restaurant.
There's not one place on this list I do not love.
Like, there's not one restaurant on this list where, like, if you told me, like, even after eating 200 meals, we're going there tonight, I would be like, okay, yeah.
Oh, no, totally. Oh my God, yes. Of course, the upside is now we get to go out to dinner together.
Now we get to go to dinner together.
Where are we going?